Welcome back, folks, to Let's Replay Albion. And when last we left off, we've explored everywhere that we can, fought all the enemies we can find, and we've also gone and sold everything that we don't need. We're almost ready to go and find Bero. But there is one more thing that we can do before we do that, and that's to get Malthus trained in one particular spell. Malthus is at least level 8 now, which means that there's one spell that this person offered that we can get him taught. And that, I believe, is the shock spell. The shock spell does cost a lot of money, 64 coins, but we do have a lot of spare money lying around. I think we have about 1,000 or so gold, after all the things that we sold, and we don't really need 1,000 gold. Not right now, anyway. Also, let's talk to Raynor about something. Please tell me what you know about the Celts on Earth. Oh dear. Well, I've never been particularly interested in history, but let's see what I can remember. At one time, the Celts were in control of Western Europe. I believe their cultural history began around 3000 BC when they split off from the Indo-European people. They spread out in several waves of migration over the middle and the western parts of Europe. Their heyday ended around 50 BC with Caesar's conquests. In spite of this incident and the later Christianization at around 400 AD, that does say BC, it's not meant to. Definitely AD. Many Celtic people preserved their culture for a long time. Their influence on the European culture can still be noticed today. The druids are probably the best known Celtic figures. It is assumed they were the priests of the nature-orientated religion, teachers, judges, and healers. Many Celtic heroic sagas form the foundation of the most famous European sagas. The Arthurian saga, for example, goes back to the Celts. Thanks for the conversation. See you, Tom. And indeed, we're now going to head down here and go to the forbidden area of this building. Because finally we're going to do what we've been asked to do, which is go and find Bero, or at least find what's left of Bero. That's more likely. Malthus indicates through his gestures and notes that this is the entrance to the forbidden part of Arjano. The door has already been opened. It's a good thing that nobody else just walked in blindly. This is the first area in the game where you're going to find enemies that are located in this perspective and not the 3D perspective, so you need to be a little careful here. Also, here is a button. Look at the grey stone plate on the wall. No, that's clearly the floor. I wonder if it does something special if you push on it. Well, right now we can just move past, so let's follow Drer's advice against our better judgment and go and press this button. It was a terrible idea. Now, there are swords that are blocking our way. They may look like daggers, but trust me, they're described as sharp swords which protrude from the floor. Also, we want to rest here, right by these flames. There we go. We want to rest as soon as we actually can. Also, there is a bucket of water that we're going to use to empty a bucket of water over the fireball and extinguish the flames. Note that that is only good for one single column of fire, and you then need to go and refresh the bucket. Now, you'd think that we want to carry around tons of buckets. The problem with that, of course, is that the buckets are very, very heavy. One bucket alone weighs 1.2 kilograms. In comparison, this battle axe weighs, okay, admittedly 6.8 kilograms, but we're carrying that for a reason. Look down there. The blades have retreated back into the floor. What do you say then? Let's go. Yeah, about that. We've only reset one particular trap, Drer. We didn't actually have to set that off whatsoever. And so we're probably not going to listen so much to your advice anymore about this. Although I wager we might do anyway. Also, here are lots of pillars of flame. We have to basically do the same thing, and there is a leather shield that we do not want. We don't want it because it's basically not that useful. Also, we might want a second bucket here. Just for now. We can always drop it if we don't need it. But hey, 2 buckets means that we can get rid of 2 columns of flame all at once. Also, this place is really not a nice place at all. The enemy encounters here, if I recall, are actually rather difficult. Also, there's that fire ring that we're just not using on this. Funnily enough, we're not using the fire ring on the large amounts of fire. It does give you the option. I'd really be curious to know what would happen if you did that, but I'm not going to, just in case it does something terrible. This is from the time of video games where sometimes people thought about things like that, and thus the chance of you doing something terrible by using that combination was a possibility. Also, here is a very obvious hidden wall that we can't actually open. Not yet, anyway. Also, here are some enemies. And torches. We want torches, we don't really want enemies, but we have no choice but to fight them. Also, here are two 1-8-2s. And, as somebody did mention, Dra now can move 2 spaces, which is actually really, really good, as opposed to Sira, who can only move 1. What we want to do right now is we want to deal with all these 1-8s before something goes terribly wrong. It shouldn't really be too difficult whatsoever, because Dra and Sira are extremely deadly, and in fact so is Tom. Yeah, 1-8-2s here, not a problem. However, there are going to be more dangerous threats out there, and we haven't even yet found them. Alright, let's grab some more torches, shall we? The more torches that we grab, the better. We do want as many of them as we can possibly get. We also want to open up that area over there. Is there anything in here? I think there are. Here is a very simple puzzle. We don't want to do anything with that just yet. Also, I don't want to walk into those flames just yet either. And here is a single arrow. Well, one arrow always has its advantages. There's just lots of random things just lying around. The torches are the main thing that I'm going to grab here, because I want to give these torches over to Dra. Dra is the one with all the torches, which is not a bad thing. You always really want somebody to handle certain things. Also, here is a quite intricate trap that we're going to have to deal with, or rather a puzzle. I do believe I remember the solution to this. It's not a very difficult one. You just need to make a little cross here, like that. At least I think it is. If we do that and then we press this, that deals with that. I'm not sure if that deals with that, though. Oh, there is a switch there. Is that what we need to do? It might be. Let's find out, shall we? Let's use this. Yes, that is. I'm not sure if you needed that as a cross to make that work, but hey, I'll gladly take the things that are here. Like this potion. I don't think we really want the shield, though. The torch is also quite nice. We'll take that as well. And we'll look at this chest here. I imagine... Ooh, it's actually open. It has jewels in it. The jewels are something we're going to want to hold on to. We need at least one. Also, there is a lever there without the handle. We're going to have to go and find that, and we're still going to have to avoid, yeah, we don't want to go into... Ooh, hello, 1-8s, how are you? You want to kill us. That's okay, we're going to kill you instead, because, well, you're only 1-8-2s. I remember going through this when I was a lot younger, and this was a really nasty place. My party was nowhere near as optimized. I hadn't got loads of wealth, I'd run out of seeds very quickly, and I didn't have things like the crystal throwing axe here. And so I really struggled. Really struggled. Alright, what's in here? Ah! That to me looks like a switch lever. Alright, we'll grab that and we'll take this. What we want to do, I think, is we want to open up that area that's a little bit over to the west here. The obvious secret area. Alright, what does this do? The switch is stuck. It can't be moved. Alright then. What about now? Nice bit of trial and error here. Okay, it can be moved only to reset this. Alright, what about this? That's not done the trick. Nope, using all three of them does not do the trick here. That has reset them. What about this? Has that sorted it out? I think you have to step on those floor plates in a specific order to make something happen. Ah, thank you very much for mentioning that to me, Raina. This way... This way? This way? No. What about the other way round? This way, and this way? That sounds like it did something. Did it do something? No, I don't think it did. I'm really sure it didn't. There is certainly a way to open up one of the routes here. I don't remember, though. Maybe someone will give me another hint? Maybe. What about this way, and then this way? No? No, that doesn't seem to have done anything. Yep, we've heard that one before, Raina. What about this way? Oops. I think I've just done exactly the same thing that I did before. What about this way, then that way? Has that done anything? No. This one. I'm really not doing very well at this at all. I wonder what the solution to that is. We can always come back here later, I think. I don't know if there's anything actually worth grabbing in that area. I could go and just use the switch here. Then again, there might be a very, very obvious solution. By the way, that is the solution to the puzzle down there, if you wanted to know it. It's just in blatant view. You've just got to know where to look. What we're going to do now is we're going to activate that switch over here. I don't know the solution to the other one. Maybe it's just as easy as going over them in a particular direction. But we're going to reattach this over here. There we go. Tom inserts the lever into the defective switch. It appears to function again. I'm not surprised that it does. Also, I think this is the end of the overhead part of the dungeon. And from then on, it's actually the area that's 3D, which means we'll then need Drer in the lead, and we really want to solve this first. I really feel like I'm missing something. Oh. Or we could just walk over them in that order. The noise of rubbing stone plates comes from the southwestern direction. Or rather, it came from a southwestern direction. But either way, we have finally opened this up. That was a very simple solution. I think I definitely overcomplicated that. They really should have overcomplicated that, because that is a really simple solution. Just literally 1, 2, 3. Also, there is a Warnake here. There are 2 Warnakes here. And they are nasty and terrifying. Oh dear. I get the feeling that if we don't do something very soon, Raina is going to go horrendously unconscious from being pummeled by a Warnake 4. Or 3. Oh dear. I don't want to even think about a Warnake 4. Oh. Fortunately, those attacks are being directed at Drer, which is really good, because if they hadn't been, yeah, that would have been bad. Also, for comparison there, a couple of Warnake 2s there were about 30 or so experience. A Warnake 3 and a Warnake 2 was pretty much the same. Also, there's a lot of nice stuff in here. Like this silver chain that provides +1 protection. We're going to be taking that. We'll also take these 14 arrows for Raina here. There are some long arrows here. They deal a little more damage if memory serves. We also have 1 blue potion. And we're very close to our carry capacity already. We'll take this bow as an extra bit of loot. This gold here. Do we want these rations? Actually, no. We'll leave them there for now. But I do think we've explored this first part of the dungeon. There are more parts yet to come. This is only the very beginning. And I think we now need Drer in the lead here, because we're going to enter the 3D part of the dungeon. And the 3D part of the dungeon is nasty. Here we are. We need some, we could use some light from the light spell, but right now using a torch is just far more sensible. This is a very, very long dungeon. The first of a selection of long dungeons. Also, we're going to be finding a lot of foes around here, and a lot of places that we can't open. A locked portcullis. there is no lock on it. Well, let's see what we can find, shall we? There's not a lot here at the moment that we can sort out. Let's see. In fact, one could say that there's not a lot that we can do here. At all. However, there is something that we can use. Do you see this here? This is a small mechanical button. We're going to use it. The stone wall disappears swiftly into the floor. A very effective mechanism. Indeed it is. Let's go over here and see what we can find. Probably enemies, if we're not careful. Oh yes, there are... Yep. There are some enemies. There are quite a lot of enemies here. We're going to have to deal with them as quickly as we can, focusing on the more dangerous threats first, and also I think it's now time that Rainer used his archery. There we go, one threat dealt with, but there are a lot worse threats to come, like this 183 here that we're just going to obliterate. There we go. And this 182 here that seems to be focused a little too much on Tom. There we go, please don't hit. Okay, one hit is not bad. Marvellous! That is another enemy defeated. And I think we can quite capably take care of these remaining foes here. There we go, just get Rainer there, and I think we're pretty safe. I think, anyway. Ooh! That was a blow I did not expect to happen. I think, however, we can save ammunition with Rainer here, because Drur is there now. This 182 is proving to be problematic. However, we now have this, I think, pretty in hand. Sira is now level 14, which is very good indeed. We'll give these over here. There's no particular reason why anyone in particular should hold on to anything. And so we'll look at this pile of rubbish. Here is another silver chain. They are quite useful. They do confer 1 point of protection. And so we're going to give this one over to Rainer, because if there's anyone that needs any protection, it's him right now, because his protection stat is quite low. I mean, Sira's is the same, but Rainer's actually on the outside edge of the defensive formation. And Sira's is only the same now that we have the that silver chain there. Alright, here is a mechanical switch. Let's use it. A noise came from the west. Which noise, however, is... Ah, that one's opened. Not helpfully, that one is still shut, but hey, we'll get there eventually. I bet we're going to find some more Warnicks round here. We just need to be a little... Ah, there's a switch here, which is quite useful. The switch can no longer be moved. Any enemies in here? Not just yet. In addition to several ground plates, there are large flames which move across the floor unpredictably. Do I want to use any of these plates? I don't think that I do. We do want to look in here, though. There's nothing here of any particular worth. What about this door? The door is tightly latched. No lock can be seen. Curious. We don't want to get in the way of any of those flames, that's for sure. Like that, one of the wandering flames has reached Tom and the companions. The heat of the fire is unbearable. Cyril was lucky and escaped the trap. Also, we just walked into it again and again, and that's what the flames can do if you let them. We were very lucky there and escaped. We won't be so lucky next time. Also, we really need to use some healing spells to bring people back to consciousness. We might as well do so because it does give us training in our healing, but that's what can happen if you are not careful. If you're not careful, everyone there can die absolutely horribly. There we go. A little bit of healing goes a long, long way. Unfortunately, some people are a little better at healing than others, namely that Sira is a lot better at it than Malthus here. We should probably rest soon, but Malthus, as you can see, is a lot less economical with his mana in terms of his spells. There we go. They also don't do as much either, whereas Sira's with the... I think the counterbalance is the seeds, which cost a lot of money. but in return you get a hefty amount of power with these spells. I mean, that's 16 healing as opposed to, say, 5. So let's rest here. There we go. We rest for 8 hours and my torch has just run out. We don't want that flame to catch up with us at all. Even slightly. I don't trust that they're unpredictable. Also, you'll notice that before that when we got hit by one of them, we got hit by a lot of them really quickly. And so, when we come back, folks, we'll continue to explore this 3D dungeon area, the start of a very, very big dungeon. A very big dungeon. Maybe we just want to press all those floor plates. It would make sense if we want to so open that door. Well, we'll find out if that's how it works anyway. So, I'll catch you next time, folks. And I'll see you then. Later. The moral of the story here is if you see random moving gouts of flame, don't stand in them. It's not good. It's not good at all. Later.